Usage of Python operators. In this video, we're going to take a look at chaining operators and using parentheses to group them, and also assigning expressions to variables. Let's check out IPython again. In the last video, we covered this a little bit already. In Python, there is operator precedence, which means that some operators take precedence over the others. To really find out which operators come first, we can take a look at the Python documentation. So here is the Python documentation. If we scroll down on the expressions page, we can get to 6.16, operator precedence. Some of the operators here we've seen, some we haven't. We can see that, for example, addition and subtraction comes above multiplication, and bitwise OR comes before shift, etc. So actually, the lower the thing in the list, the higher priority it gets in terms of multiplication. And so, as we said before, if we have an expression like this, 2 multiplied by 2 would take precedence over 2 plus 2, and we can leverage parentheses to make this different. We can also do multiple parentheses where we have 2 times plus 2 times 3, like that. The other thing we can do with operators is, so the terminology in Python for something like int30 to int32, where we have some data literals and operators chaining, that's called an expression. So it's borrowing the word from a mathematical expression where we are calculating something, or I guess more colloquially, we can think of it as an equation. So the other thing we can do is to assign an equation to a variable. And what that does is automatically the variable would take on the result of the expression, and actually all the information about how we got to that result is lost. So what we can do is var1 equals to 0, var1, that's now 0. We can reassign this with 2 multiplied by 2 plus 2, and now var1 is 6. So one common use case is we'll chain a branch of calculations together utilizing different variables to store intermediate results. So we can say var1 is 2, and then var2 is 2 times var1 plus 2. And so if we look at var2 again, we can see it's 6, because when Python looks at this, what it sees is you're declaring a new variable. You're assigning it a value based on an expression. This expression will multiply variable 1, which is a value of 2 by 2, which gives us 4, and then add 2 to it, which gives us 6. We get the result. Result is 6. We store this value in var2, and so if we look at var2 again, we have 6. So by using this smartly, where you have different variables storing intermediate results in Python, you can complete the exercise that comes with day 2, where we're getting you to find the first 20 numbers in the Fibonacci sequence. The way you try to do it is to use variables to store what's the last Fibonacci number, and then next up you just add it to the second last Fibonacci number to get the current Fibonacci number. You print it, and then you reassign these things, and you print it again. So that's where this comes in. And that's all there is to it. So we've just learned about chaining operators and using parentheses to group them. In particular, you can find out the precedence between operators on the Python documentation. We can also assign expressions to variables, and this should give you enough foundation to complete today's exercise.